So today, with the help of my good friend Bart Simpson, you see at the bottom of the screen, I want to talk a little bit about sentences as they're classified by structure. So we talked a little bit the other day about what a sentence is and recap that very quickly. So today I want you to know that sentences are constructed with clauses. And clauses are groups of related words that have both a subject and a predicate. There are two types of clauses: independent clauses and dependent clauses. Independent clauses present a complete thought and they can stand as a sentence on their own. Dependent clauses do not present a complete thought and cannot stand as a sentence. I like to make the analogy rather fondly that independent clauses are a lot like adults. Dependent clauses are somewhat like children, and you'll see how I carry that analogy out as we continue the conversation. So when classified by structure, there are four kinds of sentences: simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, and compound complex sentences. A simple sentence is a sentence with one independent clause and no dependent or subordinate clauses. So to continue my analogy, that's as if we have one adult without any children, simple, carefree life. Simple. Here's my sentence as an example. Great skateboarders use many safety precautions. This is an independent clause. It has one subject and one predicate and no subordinate clauses. A compound sentence is a sentence comprised of two or more independent clauses but no dependent clauses. So the example I have here is great skateboarders use many safety precautions and they also take lots of risks. So you see I have my original independent clause and I've added another independent clause by adding a comma and a conjunction, but there are no dependent clauses. A complex sentence is a sentence that contains one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. Great skateboarders, while taking lots of risk, use many safety precautions. So here I have one independent clause, the same original independent clause. Great skateboarders use many safety precautions, but I've inserted a dependent clause while taking lots of risk. And you'll notice that I could have put this dependent clause at the beginning of the sentence. It could have read, while taking lots of risk, great skateboarders use many safety precautions. So next we have a compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence is a sentence that contains two or more independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. So to me, that's like the extended family. We've got two or more adults with one or more dependent children, and they can handle it because they're all working together as a family. So here's my sentence. Great skateboarders, while taking lots of risk, use many safety precautions, and they still manage to keep the sport entertaining. So once again, we have two independent clauses and one dependent clause. So you see how I've sort of set those apart by changing the colors. If you look at this table from left to right, you can see the progression, how it goes from simple. So as I was saying, from left to right, we have a progression going from the simple to the compound to the complex to the compound complex. And you can see that throughout all of these sentences, I stayed with my original thought: great skateboarders use many safety precautions.